here at Developer Week 2026 in San Jose, California, and I'm sitting here next to Rahul. Rahul, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself?
Hey, this is Rahul Dharankar. I'm a head of AI at MarcoPolo.dev. We are a startup building out very cool solution around data integration to AI.
We met at the first VIP night, and you were telling me a little bit about MarcoPolo. I went back and kind of like looked at the company, and I found it really interesting.
Yeah.
Your company leverages agents like ChatGPT,
Yeah.
right? And for companies, instead of uploading data, which could be very unsecure, you guys protect that data so that companies can leverage agents like ChatGPT to do better work.
Absolutely.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to summarize, I mean, you build a lot of good points already in that, right? So what we do is we are able to connect all your enterprise data sources, right? Because LLMs are great at what exists on internet, public information, but they don't have access to your data. And your decisions, 80% of decisions are made based on your data, whether it's your personal data, whether it's a corporate data. And when you want to integrate that data, everyone is concerned what part of that data remains yours and what goes out in the world. What we provide is, think about, we treat AI as my 16-year-old, right, who has Porsche driving on Autobahn, right, in Germany. If you know, there's no speed limits there. So when I start thinking about it, I want them to have safeguards so that I protect him from self-destroying itself, right? So the whole idea was around what are the controls we want to build around that, and one was around security, right? What data goes back and what access does the LLM get, whether it's LLM or a AI agent. And then third important aspect is how much of it goes back and forth. So what we built was, we almost decided to give a virtual machine to AI, which is intent-based controls, which provides a temporary database where all the processing happens instead of it going back to LLMs. That way you reduce your token usage and at the same time have 100% accuracy in terms of, because it's query driven rather than word generation driven. So all those aspects we factored in, and we decided that MarcoPolo should solve these big problems that we are seeing when it comes from moving from pilots of AI to actually enterprise adoption of AI, and that's where we operate at.
Can you give me some examples of who you guys work with?
Absolutely. So we operate with a lot of data warehouse, like cloud data warehouses companies like Snowflake, Databricks, a lot of those like AWS side of things. Then we have on databases side, we have about all the normal ones, right? Oracle, SQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, you name it, right? MySQL, everything is covered. So about 50 odd data sources out of box. But if customers want us to build new ones, which we build those connectors within a week. So we are very fast at learning and adapting to customer needs. And we connect those to all the usual AI platforms like Claude. You have ChatGPT, you have VS Code, you have Cursor, you name it, right? We connect those data sources, 50 plus data sources, directly to those AI agents through our product.
Why did you enter into this industry? Like, what, growing up, like, was there anything were you always drawn to technology? Was this something that you knew that what you were going to be getting involved in? What's your story?
So yeah, I mean, I'm an electrical engineer, so didn't start out programming. I started out building and selling injection molding machines. Very
I worked on an injection molding machine. Yes.
Yeah.
I used to work for a toy company that made glow-in-the-dark stars that you put on your ceiling.
Very interesting.
And I started off on the assembly line and packaging it, and one day he lost his operator for the injection mold machine. He goes, "Hey, can I teach you how to do this?" And I was like, gosh, gosh, I think I was like 16 or 17. I was not old enough to work it, but he let me do it.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Very
yeah.
interesting. So that's where my journey started. But then when I went to school in WPI in Massachusetts, that's where I really got into programming and started building out stuff. Build out a e-learning platform that was sold to a large company. That was my first exit. Did not make a huge amount of money. At least I did not have any student debts coming out. Great achievement. And after that, I worked multiple years. Couple of other startups. One was around open source software, around Postgres release. Apart from that, just last year we sold a B2B rebate management platform, and I am fascinated by what AI can do, right? And it started out. I'd started out like everyone else, improving my emails, right? But as I spend time and look at what is possible, it's mind-boggling. It actually awakened the developer back in me after several years because I was focused on business building.
We also had a conversation about what Elon Musk recently brought up.
Things will move maybe even by the end of this year to where you don't even bother doing coding. The AI just creates the binary directly.
Are we going to lose the ownership of the build?
Yeah.
And does that matter?
If we are already talking about what was the reason we built programming languages. Programming languages was an easy way for humans to communicate to machines, because machines only understood binary. Now, when we start using natural language to communicate with AI, and if that can create binaries directly, the question is, what is the relevance of programming languages? And that's an interesting question. I don't think anyone has an answer right now for that. But the interesting point to bring up is, as soon as you start moving towards binary, and then you have self-adapting loops of adjusting that binary based on what are the challenges people are facing, etc., which means that it becomes a self-sustaining, quick learning platform, which you don't even control, but it controls itself, right? Now, in that scenario, there are people who will be excited about it and people who would be naturally scared about it because we don't know what's going on once you let the control go, right? It's a good mix that is required, right? And it always will be, you want the curiosity of human beings to be able to look at what is happening, understand what is happening. So AI also provides a good way of explaining back what it's trying to do and why it's doing something. Once you have that natural language happening, the relevance of programming language construct might be internal to computers, but what you want it to do is up to your imagination, and imagination can result in tremendously new ideas which are not constrained by computer languages, and that's the human potential. Unlocking the human potential, I think, is the most exciting part about AI.
So it sounds like where it's all headed is that you still need to know what's going on, but it's more about culture and taste.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is that you got to have a good idea
Yeah.
of what people would want.
Correct.
And something that's tasteful in a way that attracts them.
Correct.
And if you can come up with that, you still need to understand the frameworks and the work that's, on what's possible and what can be done.
Correct.
But you got to have a more of a philosophical understanding of things.
Exactly. And it's all about imagination and putting yourself in others' shoes, right? Thinking what would Craig need or Doug need and so on and so forth, instead of what can I do based on the constraints of programming language that I know, right? So it's all about pain solving, and that's what entrepreneurs should look for, right? So, and I see every developer as a potential entrepreneur in future. I mean, that's why you see these places crowded, is because every developer is thinking like a entrepreneur these days.
Let me ask you this, and this is going to be pointed to what the work that I do. When it comes to culture and taste and having teams that can build out things, how important is it to leverage the talent globally?
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's Europe, whether it's Latin America, how important is it to tap into the resources, the development communities of those areas to build out what you're doing?
Great question, right? I touched upon it earlier. I said the global potential is what you need to be able to tap into. Already with globally connected talent pool and AI, you are able to tap into all those things. I guess I know you work in Latin America areas and global talent, right? So I personally think that is going to become more and more prevalent. Like I think time zone things matter, right? I think cultural aspects matter when you are interacting. That becomes more core going forward, because now you're back to dealing with people and talking in languages that people understand. It was very comfortable sitting behind screens, but now when you start interacting, I think that matters more and more. So I think we hopefully will be bringing more human side of things back with AI, which we sometimes were missing when pure internet boom and people are very comfortable sitting behind screens and then not experiencing the feedback loop. So I think that feedback loop will be faster with this and with global talent.
I'm actually interested to see, and we're going to end it right here soon here, but I'm interested to see how AI impacts social engagement, because right now social media has dominated so much of our attentions toward things. A lot of the stuff that's happening online is being oftentimes dictated by someone doing a prompt in ChatGPT, and then you're reading it, you're going, it's all the same voice, and you start tuning out, because it's the same voice across every brand.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that in some ways is starting to drive people to want more of the human interaction and see people face to face and get that feedback, because it's not just words on a screen, it's also body language, it's tone of voice, it's everything. So I appreciate your time.
Of course.
How can people find out more, let me start that one over again. How can people find out more info on MarcoPolo? So
MarcoPolo, first of all, easiest way of doing that is go to marcopolo.dev, DEV, marcopolo.dev. It's self-explanatory. I am on LinkedIn. My name is Rahul Dharankar. So just look it up. You can connect with me, and I'll be happy to walk you through. But it's a self-service tool. You can try it out. I think you'd love it.